Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video and the first match preview of this week. And now, if you guys don't know, or if you just watched the previous video, this weekend is NRL Magic Round weekend. Not only doubles as, of course, NRL Magic Round, but also also is the first game of the Women's State of Origin series. Of course, Queensland and New South Wales. So in this video I'll be previewing the game tonight between the Maroons and the Blues, and then for the other match previews, I'm going to be previewing them for the day, not in separate matches. So, for example, I'm going to preview for example, tomorrow's Friday night matches will all be in one video, and then the Saturday and the Sunday match previews will all be in one video as well, with 3 matches each. They will all be in one video as well, instead of just having separate match previews. Because I think I did the same thing. I think I did the same thing for Magic Round last year. Did this separate rounds. So, but I thought I'd go for something different. I feel I'd try this with Gabba Round a couple of weeks ago with the AFL, and I'm going to try this again as well. So of course, game 1 of the Women's State of Origin series. So as usual, I'll go through the lineup, and then go through the team news, and then obviously statistics they're gonna come out of this game as well. So obviously the Maroons go into it as the reigning winners of the Women's State of Origin Shield. Obviously they won it last year. Last year it was the first time that the Women's State of Origin would be a 3-match series. It's been a tradition for the men's side of things. Now we're doing it for the women. And the Maroons won it 2-1 after winning this corresponding fixture last year, losing it last year, and then they came back. I remember they won it by a point I think it was in Newcastle, where it was in game 2, thanks to a field goal. I think it was with like a minute or so left, I remember rightly, and then smashing the Blues 22-6. In the game down in Townsville. So obviously the Maroons are the reigning winners. They're despite the Blues having been favourites throughout the entirety of the series, they ended up winning it. And there's been a lot of banter over the last week or so between these two teams. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who walks the walk tonight. So let's get to the lineups here. Like just like last year. If I butcher some of these names, my apologies. Because I don't watch that much women's rugby league. I should watch more women's rugby league, because apparently I've heard it's been great the last couple of years. With me now not watching much AFL anymore. I still watch AFL, but not much of it as I used to in the last couple of years. Maybe I'll find some time to actually watch some women's rugby league, probably. But as I said, if I butcher some of these names, my apologies. So starting with the backs here. So we'll start off with of course the home team, the Maroons, the reigning winners of the Shield. And the names are as follows. From the fullback, you got Tamika Upton as fullback. Then you got Julia Robinson and Jasmine Peters as the wingers. With Shanae. This is the first name I've butchered. Gonna butch. says Nicola. I think it is. So if I said that right, then that's a big tick for me. And Rory Owen, both of them are playing in the centres. And then Taron Aiken as 5'8", and Ali Brigginshaw as half back. In the forwards, you got Kaylee Joseph and Jessica Elliston as props, with Lauren Brown as hooker. In the second rowers, you got Sienna Lafimpo, I think you say it. And then you got Romy Tizell, I think they say it. And then as lock, and then in the other, and then as lock, you got Tavana Papali'i in there. So as well. And on the interchange bench, you've got Destiny Brill, Jada Ferguson, Sophie Hollyman, and Mackenzie Wheel on the interchange bench with Georgia Halloway as the replacement player, with Chelsea Lenarduzzi as the reserve player. So that is the lineup there for the Maroons. Now on the flip side, let's go to those dirty Blues. You can tell I'm a Maroons fan. You could tell. So first you got Abby Church at full back. Then you got Jamie Chapman and Jamie Frizzard as wingers, with Jessica Sturgis and Isabel Kelly as in the centres. Then you got Tiana Penatali and as 5'8", and Jessie Southwell as half back. Then you get to the forward pack. You've got let me say it again. Sima Amar Tuafa and Ellie Johnston as props, with Keely Davis as hooker. Then in the second row, and then you got Kezi Apps and Yasmin Clydesdale in the second row of positions. And then at lock you got Olivia Koenig. And then on the interchange bench for the Blues, you got Jocelyn Kelleher, Kennedy Sherrington, Sarah Togatuki, if you say it, and Emma Varan as the ones on the interchange bench. Shaylee Bent is the replacement player for the Blues. And the reserve for the Blues is Olivia Higgins. So yeah, and then also of course forgot to mention the referees, which of course Belinda Sharp is the main referee, with Adam G, senior review official, which is I think is in the bunker. So yeah, so that is that is the lineups there for there's the lineups there. Now for team news, obviously, the changes here. So I'm reading this off of the article on NRL.com. I recommend you try and find this, by the way. So firstly for the Maroons, so it says here, rookie Tavana Papali'i has been promoted to start at lock in a swap with Destiny Brill, who moves to the bench, with reigning Nelly Doherty medal winner Shannon Matto out of the series due to pregnancy. Yes, that's why with the change. Kelly Joseph steps up to join Jessica Elliston as prop. the other major changes for the Maroons come in the backs, with centre Rory Owen and winger Jasmine Peters named to make their debuts. With Ivania Polite also out of the side to grow her family. So interesting there. Jada Ferguson, who can fill in as forward and in the halves, has been named to debut from the bench. The experienced pairing of Ali Bringenshaw and Taran Aiken in the halves is set to be a key factor for the Maroons. Georgia Holloway and Chelsea Lenarduzzi remain in the squad. After it was trimmed to 19 players on Wednesday night, with Hayley Maddock dropping out. So that was the news out of the Maroon camp. Now out of the Blues camp, it says here it's a new look for front row for the Blues, with both last year's starting props Millie Elliott and Caitlin Johnston Green having babies. New coach John Strange has handed debutante Ellie Johnston her opportunity, with experienced Sami Telfa, if I say so, moving up front. Talented Eels fullback Abby Church has been named in the number 1 jersey for her debut, while the other new faces are Roosters Jamie Fresnel on the wing and Jocelyn Kelleher who comes from the bench. After claiming Dally M's Centre of the Year honours in 2024, Tiana Penatali as Penatali Gray Penatali Gray, apparently, so it says Penatali, but it's Penatali Gray, will start at 5/8 alongside the recalled Jessie Southwell in the halves. Kira Dibb was the player who to drop out of the squad when it was trimmed to 19 on Wednesday night, with Shaylee Bent and Olivia Higgins remaining as the 2 reserves. So that was the team news out of both camps before this first game. Now, finally, for some statistics here. So both sides have named 4 Origin newcomers in their lineup. So I think that's 2 of each. I think that's 2 of each, if I can remember rightly. Or I think it's 2 each. In both sides, the Blues have an edge on Origin in terms of Origin experience, with 88 games compared to the Maroons 77. So the current lineup as that it's got 88 games of experience compared to 77 for the Maroons. So bit of an edge there. The Maroons will field 10 members of 10 players that won the series last year. So that's about over how many players are there? That's about I think just over half of the half of the team that is playing tonight played in the winning series for the Maroons last year. Quite obviously, as I said earlier, the Blues won last year's season opener at Suncorp 22-12. Thanks to pretty much they just pretty much last year just went out from the core and just went whack, and the Maroons never recovered really. And final fact, the Blues will field 7 members. That's right, 7 members from the Sydney Roosters NRLW Grand Final winning team of 2024. So that's about pretty much a third. That's pretty much almost a third of their team play for the Sydney Roosters, the NRLW. So that's a massive spread there. So it shows how good the Sydney Roosters were last year in NRLW. Because this series is basically like a preseason sort of like preseason series type of thing to get the players ready, get the big players from the NRLW ready for the season. Which that starts. Let me check when that starts. In July, the start of July. So in a couple of months. I think Game 3 happens. I think Game 3. Game 3 happens about 2.5 months before the NRLW season starts. So yeah, and also it got recently announced that NRLW have its own Magic Round. How good is that? So good is that for the women's rugby league, for the greatest game of all for the women's side. So yeah. Predictions is so I'm just gonna do predictions. I'm not gonna do bold predictions. I'm just gonna do the predict the score here. I think the fact that it's the one thing that is going around in my mind is the 10 players that played for the Maroons that won last year's series. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm going more towards them, but I don't think they'll have it all their own way. I'm thinking the lines of 20-16. I think they'll do what the Blues did last year, come out from the corner and just went whack, and then basically the Blues will come back later in the game, but it'll be too late, and would win them, the game and that. So yeah. So I think for me, yeah, that's where I think I'll go. I think Maroons will win it 20-16. And 20-16, I think that will be my prediction there. So that's pretty much it for this match preview. As I said, there will be three other previews, one for each day. I'll have a preview for both the Friday games, and then have a video for all to preview all three matches for the Saturday, and again for the Sunday. I still don't know what I'll do in terms of the match review part of it. Do I do it all in one video? Do I do it all in one video? Do I do it in separate videos? Do the matches in separate videos? I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to go with it. But yeah. So like this video, share this to anybody who is a women's rugby league fan. Comment down below what is your predicted scoreline for this game. And even if you're watching this preview after the game has finished, still comment down below your predictions and tell me if you got it right or not. And lastly, somewhere down there, click on the big red button which is labeled subscribe. It really does help me out quite a bit because it's going to be, of course, a busy month. Obviously, with this weekend being Magic Round. Then we have the Indigenous rounds for both AFL and the NRL. The A-League finals coming up next weekend. After this weekend, next weekend will be the A-League finals, and I'll cover that as well. Then of course you got in America, you got the NBA playoffs going on right now, and eventually Eventually the NBA finals will come around near the end of the month. And then obviously the next month, you got the World Test Championship final between Australia and South Africa. We'll do content for that as well. So it's gonna be busy. It's gonna be very busy on this channel for sure. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all later.